The gentleman's recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The United States and our allies are safer with Qassem Soleimani gone. President Trump's decisive leadership was justified, and it was right. Soleimani had the blood of over 600 American service members on his hands. For more than 20 years, he attacked our troops, established a brutal reign of terror across the Middle East, and was directly responsible for the death of thousands of innocent civilians, including in his own country. And he had more terror planned. As President Trump said, this strike was done to prevent a war, not start one. And in yesterday's address, he was true to his word. He was confident and restrained. Even as he underscored our strength and resolve, he extended the people of Iran our hand in peace and friendship. President Trump's decision to embrace the Reagan doctrine of peace through strength in dealing with Iran has worked. Those who criticize President Trump for Iran's dangerous foreign policy should actually spend a few moments and review their history. It is Iran who is responsible for escalating tensions by creating chaos to spread fear and accumulate power. In the decades since 1979's revolution, Iran has become the #1 state sponsor of terrorism in the world. More recently, it shot down an American military drone and seized a British oil tanker. On December 27th, Iranian proxies crossed the line by killing an American. For the first time since 1988, we have an administration willing to strike back. For most of the media reports, many may only know him as an unnamed U.S. contractor killed in Iraq. But he was more than that. His name, Nawres Hamid. He was a husband, he was a father of 2 young sons, and he was a resident of California. And before he became a citizen, he was valiantly serving alongside our troops as a linguist. All of our hearts breaks for his wife and children who are left mourning his death. There are some in this chamber that seem to be downplaying his death, but his death matters. It matters to his family, it matters to his countrymen, it matters to the president, and it matters to me. His death was unnecessary, unprovoked, and it deserved justice. That is why my next statement carries even more meaning. Red lines should mean something. In this administration, they do. Killing Nawres was a red line. Planning to kill Americans is a red line. I'm confident that the right decision was to take out the man responsible for Nawres' death and the death of hundreds of other Americans. Iran responded earlier this week by sending missiles to U.S. bases in Iraq. I believe we are all relieved and grateful that there was no American casualties. Iran appears to be pulling back from its strategy of provocation in the face of firm American determination. They seem to understand that de-escalation is the right time right now for them in the world. Now is the time for our country to come together and speak with one voice, not as Republicans, not as Democrats, but as Americans. But instead of working with this administration to continue work towards shared goals, Democrats are using this moment to continue their hatred towards the president. As my colleague and former CIA officer Will Hurd said, he never thought he would see the day that the Iranian government would be able to manipulate members of Congress, Democratic presidential candidates, and the Western media. Yet here we are on this floor today. If President Trump's instinct is to put America first, his critics' instinct is to blame America first. The words of my Democratic colleagues, including the Speaker of the House, blame the United States for attacks Iran has been initiating for the past 4 decades. Now they want to limit the president's ability to defend America. That's just dangerous. And I want to clear up some news, Madam Speaker, that I actually even recently heard on this floor. I would probably consider it fake news that Democrats have told American people. Contrary to their claim, the resolution before the House today is non-binding. It is called a concurrent resolution. This resolution, if passed, won't go to the president's desk for signature. It won't have the power of law. Madam Speaker, I heard the chairman try to talk and try to claim that this had power. I know we have three co-equal branches of government. Madam Speaker, I think the chairman should actually look what the Supreme Court ruled on the Chadha case. That concurrent resolutions are unconstitutional as a means to limit the executive branch. I think I may need to read it twice, so let's do that. In fact, the Supreme Court ruled that in the Chadha case, the concurrent resolutions are unconstitutional as a means to limit the executive branch. The purpose of a concurrent resolution is to deal with mundane housekeeping matters in Congress. Now, I want you to know, so everybody understands, what have we used concurrent resolutions for? Very important, to authorize the use of the Capitol grounds for the soapbox derby, to use the rotunda to present a congressional medal to Jack Nicklaus, and to host a birthday party in the Capitol Visitor Center. But the new majority decided to use it for something different. For a party that wants to claim they care about the Constitution, Madam Speaker, Democrats may want to brush up on their facts. If they did, they would realize their actions today are shameful and are embarrassing, even by the low standards they set in their impeachment inquiry. They seem to have forgotten that we are not the House of Resolutions. We're actually the U.S. House of Representatives. Our job isn't to debate feelings. Our job isn't to make recommendations. We're actually elected to have a job is to make law. But that is not how we are spending our time today. This resolution has as much force of law as a New Year's resolution. It is nothing more than a press release to appease their socialist base. But what message is it sending to Iran? That we are strong, determined, and united as a country? Or that we are divided, short-sighted, and weak? Madam Speaker, in war, resolution, and in peace, goodwill. Winston Churchill wrote those words after he led Britain to victory in the Second World War. They describe what he believed were the right actions for great leaders to take at history's defining moment. We should keep Churchill's words in mind today. President Trump clearly has. Because of President Trump's leadership, the United States and our allies are safer today than we were exactly 1 week ago. Petty politics are wrong for the country, especially now. Not liking President Trump is not an excuse for failing to see this president and his administrations have a sensible and deeply American strategy for dealing with Iran. Madam Speaker, I imagine we'll continue to hear from other Democrats defend Iran for their escalation and the death of an American. Madam Speaker, I'll imagine that the Democrats will try to claim a concurrent resolution is more than a soapbox derby, but the Supreme Court says otherwise. Madam Speaker, I imagine I'll hear a lot from the Democrats today. I'd actually like to hear a Democrat speak to the 600 Gold Star families that Soleimani killed. I'd like to hear them defend that. I'd like them to hear to defend Iran and their actions of burning an embassy, of killing an American, of killing thousands of civilians, even in their own country. But they're going to take our time today with something that means nothing. But yes, they will run to the mics, they'll get on TV, and they'll tell a little more fake news that it meant something today. The only thing today will happen It'll make Iran believe they are stronger. It'll make Iran believe they have allies in the House of Representatives. It is a day that one we will not be proud of. Madam Speaker, in light of the information that we have coming out of Iran, if it is true of why an airline was shot down, if that was the case, I would like to see a Democrat move to the floor and pull this concurrent resolution. If it means nothing, I think we should have all the facts. And I'll look forward to listen to, Madam Speaker, to any Democrat that wants to speak to the Gold Star families about why they want to have a debate today and tell me that Soleimani is bad, but. It's not but, it's because. Because he killed Americans, because he killed thousands of civilians, that is why he was taken out, and the world is safer because of it. Madam Speaker, I look forward to hearing the defense from the other side.
Gentleman from Texas reserves.